We're at the Palace District. Yeah. No performance issues, no. I guess there's a problem if you play for too long, the game starts to lose resources somewhere. Where the hell do we need to go? Oh. Ah, shit.
Trap right ahead.
There's definitely two mages there. Ah, I can get them both. Jesus Christ. Why there has to be a range how far I can look here? Why is it so close, rather?
Here comes trouble!
Okay, one of them died, one of them is good.
You should try while you can.
Very nice.
Let's see some blood!
Let's make this quick.
Good. Careless, careless, careless.
Yeah.
I suppose I should be dust by now. I thank it for its help.
The the problem with Win and her survivability is that she's the only one with range combat. So when we have to move through these areas where there are respawn spots, she gets caught alone there. I have to direct things a bit more manually, keep her alive, and I'm sort of inclined not to do that. Anyway, for Draken finally, so what's your wound? Cracked skull. Don't care. Move on.
Got it.
Build into the side of the mountain. The fortress towers are the highest points in general. So, final battle area.
No end to these blasted things.
What's that? Dragon Thrower. A lot of emissaries. Might be able to get both of them.
Is it time to kill something? Just call me the freak.
This is how you do the war cry.
What you're made of!
Not too bad. We need to spot casters faster. The anti-magic abilities we have are not bad, but they rely quite heavily on the mages having a high mana pool in order to be effective, because they explode the mana they have. So if they have time to cast, they'll certainly survive counterattack. For Dragon, we need to fight through multiple levels here or what? Not that it wouldn't be realistic, but it might get real tedious real fast. It's just gonna be wave and wave after of Darkspawn. What else could it be? Still offering me loot. Is it worth it? Of course it isn't. Blank paper or sheepskin.
I'll get on it.
Yeah. What was the fucking point of adding these? Looks like a mini boss area at least. Demons. The boss skin lock. Where is it? There. Somewhere there.
Where now? We must have victory.
Okay, that went fairly well. direction hits.
I'll try to be merciful. Make a preserve.
Okay, not too bad of a fight. As long as you spot the game lock conjure immediately, no trouble. Shape changer. Mystery. Rage corpse, and bastards.
Trap right ahead. Of course. I shall do so.
Needed death.
Fine.
Hit the shape changer. Excellent.
Crunching noises.
No chance at all.
Wait. They killed all the dogs. What's with the
I'll get
corpse
on it.
skull?
Now's better than later. Can I get you a ladder so you can
Well,
get
at
off
least
my
it's
back?
stacked, so if there's any kind of need for corpse skull at some point, you're set for
Got
life.
it. I'll get on it.
More equipment. Nothing good, nothing noteworthy. I find it odd because if you're not gonna put
Alright.
anything even half decent at this point, is it worth putting anything at all, really? It just breaks the flow of the fight and the drama and urgency. If you're huge looting options,
On my
if
way.
it's just random crap, this could have been just unlootable locations here.
I shall.
No, I don't. Now I have to sort of go through them because there might be something good here. After all, the game is nearing to an end, so the game might go overboard in giving something that it wouldn't want to have us earlier because it's too good or something like that.
Can I get you
Allow
a
me.
ladder
I could
so
do
you can
that
get
for
off
you.
my back?
But no, it seems like a huge
As you like.
amount of random containers have nothing worthwhile.
Got it.
Sandal. That's the enchanter dwarf. Why's he here? Seriously, why is he here?
Enchantment?
Uh, you're surrounded by darkspawn corpses. What happened here?
Enchantment!
Okay.
Enchantment?
Any of your dads wears... Oh, okay, this is just a mystical bullshit store right here. It seems to be selling pretty much everything. For no particular reason. Yeah. Hmm. We have gained a lot of this fairly useless crap. I'm sure we'll get more of it. I still want to make a little bit of an inventory space here. It is extra money and it's not in any way useless. Hmm. Good enough. Well, at least we had 100 gold again. So we're not totally broke. How many floors? Really? Yeah.
Now's better than later.
This looks like a maze. I mean a proper maze. That there's no really floor plan. See these narrow hallways in everywhere where there's only a thin wall separating the hallways. It looks like they sort of wanted to add filler into the last portion of the game for some unknown reason.
Hey.
And I don't really get why. The feel of urgency in epic battle has totally disappeared from the once we entered here. It feels like any other ruin we've explored during the game. The reason I'm wondering why they did it is because it seems to detract from the feel of this area. Okay. Maybe they want to bore me with meaningless boss fights. Well, they're worth money, I suppose, so
Got it.
that's something. But it's still a good addition here. I don't think so. It's not quite as bad as I initially thought, still, because there's elevation differences here. These type of areas sort of look quite bad.
Now's better than later.
Yeah, they're not quite as bad.
Got it.
And you put a single deep mushroom in those. I just want to get out of here.
Now's better than later.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun, so... But they seem to be spreading.
Now's better than later.
Let's make this quick.
Ladder. Now's better than later. All right. That'll teach you.
To pass.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Sure, that's fine.
I'll get on it.
So this led to nowhere. It was just an area of an
Got it.
darkspawn ambushing us.
Now's better than later.
Ooh, master. Pull back, oh.
I'll try to be merciful.
I'll get on.
I'll do it. I'll be up right away.
Yeah, Liliana got caught in the trap. Ooh, darkspawn ogre, ogre, Sherlock and Mystery.
Immediately.
It's dead.
Here!
Right, right.
That's my girl. Chest. No, I must resist the desire to loot everything. It's not going to go. I'm just going to agree that there's not going to be anything valuable here and move on. It's probably worth a decent amount of coin, but ooh. Archdemon, lovely. Here, ooh, ballista. Elite boss. Not quite sure what we need to do here. Let's go the ballista first. These look like areas where the Archdemon might move. Is that spirit damage? Ah, you have to be kidding me.
I shall do it.
Now it's better than later.
Well, it's gonna be interesting. I'm treating it like any other dragon. Why are you going there? Maybe you should do some healing. I doubt it has mana. Okay, let's go for mages. I'll stand in front of it.
Not like that.
don't you? Why are you refusing to
Alright,
fight?
alright.
I don't get how it works. It should fire. Okay.
Now's better than later.
I have no idea.
Make her be praised.
Get off my back.
Yeah, I don't think the ballistas can shoot in the center. Maybe one of. Okay, that would make sense.
Alright, alright.
Ballista, yeah. Shit.
They won't know it yet.
On my way.
What is happening with the Archdemon? Oh, there.
What is your command?
Yeah, we probably don't want to be here, so.
Got it.
Spirit Smite.
So you can get off my back.
Excellent. Managed to diminish their strength quite a bit.
Order me.
Reserve.
I need to see its health. I don't know, do I actually have to give the killing blow really in the game with the warden, but I'm not taking any chances. Oops. That place to be when.
And then it was over. With the Archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come, but the blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king and queen. Grey Wardens stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
Why don't you tell me?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Denerim, there is one in particular who deserves commendation. The one who led the final charge against the Archdemon remains with us still. An inspiration to all he saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Ferelden. The first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon that you might request of Ferelden's king? If it is within my power, I will grant it.
I haven't really thought about that. I don't really care as a character. I'm not a servant of the crown. Never where I was. Not in the sense. Grey Warden first. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. That's a good option to have. But no, I'm fine. This is why we exist in the first place. We're not doing it for any real reason, so I'm fine.
Really? Not even a pony? Gosh, way to wreck the drama. I'm kidding, of course. Just a little royal humor. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
Darkspawn are still a threat. Grey Wardens need me.
That they do. I'm glad one of us is staying with them at least. There's a group of Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready.
Anything? No. Yep, there's nothing left. Ooh. Ooh. There is one thing we can do. I think this would be an option to remove some of the items from, see, it is not. It's not that it's a big deal, but where the hell? So it left my bow here, but not my swords. I'm fine, we had the extra space. Let's see this to the end.
So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? The odds were completely against one of us actually getting to the Archdemon. But of course you would make it. I knew you would. I just don't understand how you're still alive. I guess Riordan was wrong?
I think Alistair deserves the truth. Morrigan saved me.
I had no idea. I suppose that makes sense. Speaking of Morrigan, do you know where she went? I'm told she vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything.
She doesn't want to be followed.
Very dramatic. I don't imagine she'd be easy to find if she didn't want to be. At any rate, I can see Archdemon giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. I can never wait. And if I don't get the chance some other time, thanks. For everything.
Yeah, no thanks necessary.
I'll let you get to your adoring public. They want to see the hero of Ferelden, and who am I to keep them waiting?
Let's not forget Honora.
Allow me to offer you my personal congratulations, Warden. I must admit that while I did not share my father's pessimism regarding the Grey Wardens, I had my doubts that such a small number of you could be victorious. Yet here you are.
Damn right.
Normally I would call that bravado, but it seems your confidence is deserved. Tell me something. Is Alistair always like that?
Like what?
Well, he answers every serious question with a jest. Is that normal? Thankfully, he has surprised me with his eagerness to learn the business of ruling. Despite his questionable humor, he may yet be a good king. Oh well. His heart is in the right place. In that he reminds me of Kaelin, which is no failing. Now I see Archdemon gesturing to me. There is more work to be done. I must take my leave of you, I fear. Enjoy the rest of the celebration, Warden. I shall speak to you again before the day is done.
Sort of nice that there's at least, even though it's a political marriage, it's not like they hate each other. And unless they're too stubborn, they might make it an actual effort to come to some kind of a mutual agreement that might work out. I guess that's one of those win lessons, to accept that they're going to be married, so trying to make it work instead of being unhappy about what they didn't get to choose. Didn't get to choose their own who they're going to marry and who not, and just make the best of it. It's not like it's the worst thing ever.
So it survived after all. My impression that all creatures made of flesh were hopelessly squishy was, premature.
Well, it's nice to be appreciated.
It has made me revise my opinion of its kind. My kind. I am, or at least was, a dwarf. A creature of flesh. I have to keep reminding myself that. In fact, I think I may even try to become one again.
Come again?
Wynne has offered to accompany me to Tevinter to speak with the mages there. The Circle of Minrathrus has the largest collection of arcane knowledge in Thedas. If it is possible to reverse this process, then the knowledge to do so will be there, or that is my hope. And if not, Then I will keep looking. I have nothing if not time, yes?
I suppose that's true.
I intend to return eventually, unless I finally decide to destroy all pigeons everywhere. That may take a while, but otherwise I will come back. If it happens to one day see a tiny little dwarf who appears very nervous of being squished, that will be me. Until then, I wish it well. You have been a fine friend.
Oh,
Ah, glorious! You've really showed these humans something. Took down the Blight practically single-handed.
yeah, all in a day's work.
Exactly. Give these tall folks something to chew on the next time they badmouth a dwarf, that's what. I'm not just here to witness the whole human spectacle, however. The Assembly contacted me with a message for you. I guess they figured once a manservant, always a manservant. Ah, I don't mind. Thing is, we've both been given leave to return to Orzammar.
What do you mean?
Seems Harrowmont is mighty grateful. He's declared you the heir to House Iduken. Full rights restored for us both. Not only that, but the Assembly is considering naming you a Paragon. A Paragon in our time.
That is exciting news.
Not a bad change from an exiled murderer, no? Congratulations, my friend. You think you might head back home? To put House Iduken in order, if nothing else.
We'll see, I have things to do first.
Well, I hope you manage it. I'll be happy to take up my old position, if you'll have me. At any rate, I'll let the humans get back to their dwarf worship. Still makes me smile to hear them talk.
You didn't even do anything. Why would you be a good second in command? I mean, he hurt his leg. I think he's not capable of being a frontline fighter anymore.
It is over. I can barely believe it. You stopped the civil war and then defeated the Blight. On behalf of Ferelden, allow me to say thank you. It truly cannot be said enough.
You're welcome.
It's too bad that you aren't remaining here in the capital. The hero of Ferelden would have influence, but I understand. Myself, I will be remaining here to help Alistair. Tegan will take over the rule of Redcliffe, at least for the time being. Connor seems well enough, and Isolde refuses to speak of what happened. She says she never wants to go back. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet.
I'm guessing this will be the exact same text or dialogue he gives if you let the... Instead of exorcising the demon from the boy, you let it be him be... You do a deal with the demon. So I guess this is so same text but very different tone to it based on what how you play things. But he seems quiet is just him being quiet this time, nothing else. Yep. That's hardly strange.
The way he looks at me at times, it's as if... No, that cannot be. It is my imagination. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden. Enjoy it while you can.
So here we are. The conquering hero has won the day, and now he takes his bow and exits the stage. A fine ending.
You should be taking a bow with me.
And my part was small. I'm happy to watch you receive the accolades. It's quite fun. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. Whether it was the Maker sending me to you or whatever, it was a good thing. I thought I was supposed to save you, to show you the way. But it seems it was meant to be the other way around. Odd how that works, no?
I think you did plenty.
Flatterer. So, if I heard right, you'll be leaving soon. Any room for an extra body on your travels?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'm saying only if it's you, because I'm not sure what that was the plan leads to.
Good. I imagine that whatever you get up to will be anything but boring. At any rate, I should let you get back to your celebration before someone drags you away. I look forward to seeing you again afterwards.
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events are perfect opportunities for assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you.
Yeah. You think the crows will still come after you?
Eventually. With Taliesin dead, it may take them time to figure out what has happened, but they are like the tides, predictable. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker. While fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you were planning on returning to the Grey Warden fold soon. Is that true?
That is indeed what I said.
The Grey Wardens seem to be a fun bunch to hang around, however. Maybe they won't mind a resident assassin. I'm an excellent mascot.
I'd be happy for the company.
And I promise not to get you into too much trouble. Well, no more than you get me into, anyhow. Well then, since we're going to be leaving together, we can speak after you have been sufficiently paraded in front of the populace. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal of coin, anyhow.
Excellent. I'm happy to see some people find their place outside the group. There's a limited amount of future in an adventuring group, I'd imagine. But I'm also happy to take anyone with us if we can. I don't think it actually happens in reality. So I'm certainly not going to turn anyone down.
The hero of Ferelden. My. How does it feel?
A little strange.
Of that I have no doubt. It's a title you'll be wearing for a long time to come, just as Loghain wore his. But it's not so bad, is it? A blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
I didn't do it on my own.
I don't think many heroes ever do. I'm glad not to be on the receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to travel. Shale has expressed a desire to go to Devinter to look into a way to regain her mortality. And I will join her.
What about your problem? I don't see why it would make a difference, really. What is she supposed to do? Sit here and wait for the end to come? So, sounds like fun.
I understand you will be leaving. I wish you good fortune on your journeys, wherever they may take you. If we do not see each other again, live well, Warden. And thank you.
Maybe this is the wrong time to be scrubbing floors. Just saying, it's distraction from the party. You do it before and after, not during.
It is good to see you again, Kadan. These people, they call you hero. It is a strange word, but I think I understand its meaning. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kyun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
Nothing wrong with a little pride.
I would argue, had you not ended a blight, for such an accomplishment there may be allowances. What the human custom has in common with our own is that the declaration of a Kunoran Vale is a cause for much celebration. It is one of few occasions when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry. There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness.
That would be quite the sight.
It is interesting. It can take days for the Ben Hasrath to restore order. There may even be executions. I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
Be a long trip home.
Yes. It will be difficult to travel alone, after so much time spent with companions. It must be said, you found my sword and gave me a chance to restore my honor. I owe you a great debt.
You helped me as well, it's been good.
It has. That one of the Baz, a foreigner, would become known as Kadan to me. Unthinkable. Yet here it is. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Please. Ogren's lady friend.
Humans have a better taste for spirits than I thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison. Probably because they put dirt in it. Go figure.
Okay, enjoying yourself, I see.
After what we went through, I think I've earned it. I think you've earned it. So I guess you're heading off soon, huh? Leaving the city?
That's the plan.
I'm thinking I'll stick around myself. At least for a bit. I'm getting used to that big sky up there. And I'm thinking I might just look up Felsi again. See where that goes.
Yep. Hope you two are happy.
I'll drink to that. Ah, well, enough babbling. That pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
Yeah, that's a little gross, but... yeah. Take care.
Been good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
I like particularly Ogren in this out of these companions. As a person, do think Morrigan is a good companion too, as in an interesting one. Although a bit sort of on the dull side because she's so predictable with her complaints. But Ogren I like because a lot of companions are written in a very, I think a bland way. Ogren is not he's a fun personality, but there's not a lot of good about him. He seems like very enjoyable personality in that sense. It's hard to explain. Usually, I guess you could understand it in a say, if you take a group of people from the real world, usually the people who end up in games would be the people who would go through a sort of a filter. Can you put this person on live TV or a TV, in a TV show? So it sort of gets filtered, the extreme personalities, the people who are a bit racist and have odd ways of speaking, or are obnoxious dicks or anything like that. So they get sort of a, they end up being a very much more blander selection of people than they really should be. If you would take a group of random people, they would probably be quite varied, and I would assume a lot of them would have the traits or would do things that you might find that you didn't care about too much, might find offensive, might find you would be heavily or disagreeing with them. So I like Ogren type characters because they are a bit offensive at times. It's not like he's still fairly harmless, but I like characters that at least lean in that direction, and they're not just wonderful personalities that you all, and I don't. I like personalities that there's something really wrong with them too. Everyone almost we have are fairly bland. Sten has a different culture, but well, he's bland as bland can be. He's an honorable warrior type. Win your school teacher type. They don't have any vices really or anything interesting. If you take a school mistress in real life, she probably had that personality, but she would have also sort of personal vices and things like that, which probably make her a much more interesting character. Alistair is fairly innocent. There's nothing really wrong that Alistair does. He's always trying to do the right thing, the just thing, and I don't think that's a terrible thing, but I think there's too many of people like that in the group. Shale's another that at least aims to be a little bit more interesting because she has the personality quirks and trying to crush everything, but it's also just talk. She never really does anything that we have to get involved with. It might have been a bit more interesting if she actually did go through with some of those threats, like would publicly start crush the birds she's always complaining about. That's probably something people wouldn't react too well on. Cause some kind of scenes with the squashing of fleshy creatures, but nothing ever comes with it. So that's just talk. She's very respectful in actual engagement with people. Ogren, who's just a drunk, is much more offensive. So I like him much more. I'm missing something. I don't think so. Morrigan naturally, but he should be the end guy then.
Are you ready, my lord? The crowds outside are getting restless.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
In the months that followed their wedding, Alistair and Honora proved themselves a surprisingly effective pair. Alistair spent a great deal of time at court, showing willingness to learn the art of governing from Honora and often deferred to her judgment. And no one was more surprised by this than Honora herself. Hopefully I can move these forward manually. Okay. Two of them made numerous outings into Denerim and other settlements in Ferelden, supervising the reconstruction process and greeting their subjects personally, much to the commoners' enthusiastic approval. Many said the chaos of the civil war and Landsmeet were worth it for delivering such beloved monarchs. Rumors that the urn of sacred ashes had been found and that it was used to heal Archdemon of his poisoning circulated in Ferelden in the months following the Darkspawn defeat. Slowly, at first, and then with growing frequency as the Grand Cleric failed to deny them. Once the Chantry made several attempts to verify the rumors, however, there came an official decree that no resting place for the ashes had been found. If the urn of sacred ashes was in those ruins once, it was no longer. Following months of effort, the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and First Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the Circle safe. All that could be saved had been. With the slavers shut down in the alienage, the lot of the city-born elves improved for a time. The new king even named the local elder to his personal court, a scandal amongst humans, but a sign of a new hope to the elves. Shiani continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became the new leader. That outspokenness earned her frequent trouble, but served her people well. Archdemon remained in Denerim for some time, acting as the Chancellor and Chief Advisor to King Alistair. Tegan ruled over Redcliffe in his stead, and was surprised to find himself well loved by the villagers, who were still grateful for the nights he spent defending their lives. In time, Eamon abdicated in favor of his brother, an event the locals greeted with approval and enthusiasm. The Dalish elves prospered after the siege at Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle. For once, human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper Lenaya was respected both among the Dalish as well as in the Ferelden court. She was a voice of reason, and other Dalish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with human folk. In time, many of the Dalish clans moved to new land provided for them in the south near Ostagar. Wary of their human neighbors, however, tensions soon rose again, and only Keeper Lenaya's leadership kept peace alive. In Orzammar, King Harrowmont found himself in a protracted battle against Balin's rebellion that left him unable to gain the stability he needed. The clan lords objected to many of his measures in the assembly, but only his efforts to increase the dwarves' isolation from the surface met with any success. In time, Harrowmont's health began to fail. Some claimed it was poisoned, while others said it was a flagging spirit. Either way, after a protracted illness, the king finally passed away. Wrangling in the assembly for a successor began almost immediately. The assembly unanimously declared Durin a living paragon. Following months of deliberation, a new statue was erected in the Commons and a new house founded in the paragon's name, quickly drawing a great number of followers from every caste. Brother Burkle's new chantry in Orzammar drew a surprising number of converts among the dwarves. They quickly attracted a great deal of anger from more conservative quarters. Before long, the assembly severely restricted the Andrastians' rights. Brother Burkle resisted and was slain while being arrested during a peaceful demonstration in the Commons. The assembly claimed this was an accident, but news of the resulting riots reached the chantry on the surface, where the Divine even contemplated a new exalted march. The dwarven mage Dagna ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory of how lyrium vapors relate to the supply of magic. It gained a great deal of attention. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumors about its location crept into Orzammar. Years later, thanks to the defeat of Darkspawn on the surface, a few determined smiths managed to locate the Anvil's remains. They examined the ruins of the Anvil and upon returning to Orzammar with their findings, convinced the Shaperate to attempt to recreate Karadin's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade. Golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. The research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Whispers of its existence circulated through Orzammar, however, and demand among the Smith caste to reopen Karadin's research refused to abate. So this is what sort of I think a lot more good would have come from just keeping the technology and studying it. Because that's what usually happens. When you sort of try to turn back the clock, what you really do is force other people to repeat the mistakes and relearn things someone already learned and paid the price for. It's not something you can't just wish it and make it disappear again. It's going to be bubbling up again and again until someone gets it right. As good as her word, Morgan disappeared once the Archdemon was slain. Someone of Morgan's description was seen traveling alone months later, heading west through the Frostback Mountains, and she may even have been with child. There was no word of her after that. With Flemeth dead, or at least gone, the chances of tracking her down were slim indeed. One cannot help but wonder, however, what became of the child? What were Morgan's plans? This question must remain a mystery for now. As for Durin's companions, they went their separate ways. Eliana and Durin returned to the Grey Wardens, helping to rebuild the Order for a time, then joining an effort to investigate the Darkspawn's remaining secrets. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Wardens slowly rebuilt the Order in Amaranthine, they discovered that the fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving warbands that preyed both upon the land and upon each other. These warbands spread havoc, and some even journeyed west into Olay or crossed the shining sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out. But these are tales yet to be told. This tale ended when Durin sank his blade into the Archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. It was not the last that Ferelden would hear of him, however. Yeah. And that's Dragon Age Origins. We'll be playing the expansion back. I think you can export a save game. I'm pretty sure the game might have even made one. Yeah, post coronation. I still like to say a few words about the original game. The game is good, but it has its problems. If you're not really into this companion system and talking to them, interacting with them, it's still a very solid game, so worth playing. But the interactions and things you can do there with the NPCs, with your companions. That's the stronger points of these games usually. So they do add a lot of value to the game. Without them, it's an enjoyable but enjoyable role-playing game. I played better because this isn't mechanically all that interesting, and the control system is it's not bad, but it's aggravating at times. So, in my opinion, the control system lends better for single character controls, which is a bad thing if you have to fight with a full group. The tactic system mitigates the problem, but it's still a problem. There's too much options for a group battle. Let's put it this way: I've played quite a few role-playing games already. Well, huge amount actually, but I made quite a few Let's Plays out of them already, and probably should play Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Night. But anyway, usually when you have a game that's built around a group focus, the entire battle system is already also built around the group focus, meaning if you command your group, you have a lot of interesting options and enough things to do to keep the fights interesting. But they're not meant to play solo. You have options like, for example, Fallout Tactics. Playing with a single character is very challenging and rewarding enough, but what it's really meant to be as a group thing, and the control options support that quite well, even if it's sort of a port of a single player role-playing game into a more tactical group combat situation. It still works well enough. Here it sort of starts to struggle a little bit because they're trying to add very well, not exactly huge, but a fairly complicated or a lot of a control system or a character system that's fairly complicated and quick key based, and then just multiply it, and it's good enough for a single character, but when you multiply it, it comes tedium. It becomes chore if you want to effectively control everything, and I dislike that. A better example of how to do things would be Baldur's Gate. It is much more auto attack based. So with if you would play a single character, you would often have a lot of situations where you just wait for things to happen, which isn't bad either, because it allows you to focus your attention to a lot of other things, to monitor the combat and what's happening there. But what it is, it's more balanced around the group. So you're managing the group and their abilities. So that's what it works better that way. The fewer abilities make it, I could say, more dull in that you have fewer options. But you still have a lot of options, and it fits better in what a player can be asked to realistically manage without constantly pausing up the game and doing extended, trying to sort of micromanage each individual and taking a lot of time. You can do that and you still benefit from that, but you can just select everything or most of the units, keep them controls even while the game is on pause, and you still get an effective use out of your characters. So I don't like the actual game mechanics all that much. they're not bad. I just don't think they're good or great. They're okay. Still, the overall rating for this, I would say, is probably something like 8 out of 10. Oh, definitely one of the stronger overall role-playing experiences. It's fairly linear, but this is all the BioWare role-playing games are this crap. There are options, but compared to a lot of the competition, they're not all that great. But it also lends to a more cinematic experience. So it's not like it's just a negative. It has its positives, and it's a good enough balance. I had high hopes for this game series based on the origins, but Dragon Age 2, frankly, I think it's a piece of shit of a game. It has interesting character interactions still, but the problem is everything else is pretty much a downgrade compared to this game, in my opinion. And the feel of the game world is also changed from this realistic, gritty to a more of a cartoonish thing. It's apparent in the looks. It's apparent in how combat is going. It's apparent in the fact that friendly fire is disabled, sort of a in the normal difficulty, if I recall correctly. So it's a lot more. You can spam your super effective kill spells without any consideration. So it's moved almost in every aspect to a direction I hated. So even that, it's not a. Objectively speaking, the game is okay, but I wouldn't pay money for it. Let's put it that way, unless it's like under $5 or something like that. I think there will be Dragon Age 3. I'm not sure. Probably there has been a lot of minor Dragon Age games, so we'll see how I'm interested enough in the game series still, based on this game mainly, that I want to see where they're going with it. So I guess that alone is a good proof enough that I do think this is a good game. It didn't kill my entire enthusiasm to the game series to the point I stopped caring totally about what the gaming series could provide. But expansion ways. We could also play some of the DLCs. I mean, there are side stories like Leliana's Past you can play. You can try to go after Morrigan, things like that, but they're very separate. I mean, they really are. And I think Leliana's Past contradicts what she told us about her past. So they're not all that interesting, to be honest. But I'll see. For now, we'll move on directly to the expansion.